Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
I think when you watch him play, because you've heard all the different buzzwords about him being a warrior and what a battler he is, go back to the Rose Bowl game against Georgia, his last year at Oklahoma. They got beat in, double overtime? A thriller. But he played despite the flu and still put up big-time numbers and almost rallied his team to a victory.
Yeah, big-time numbers. Also had a receiving touchdown in that game as well.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And some space here. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 30, 10, touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. So, wow. I mean, that'll quiet this crowd, right? A big one there on the opening drive of the game.
Yeah, you have to be thinking, we're at home for the playoffs. That had to be a splash of cold water right in their face, don't you think?
Yeah, they got to be thinking, we're going to have to work on this and do so in a hurry. Extra point safely through, and it's now a 7-0 game. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They go play action here on first down. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake. Trader. Wide open receiver complete. The 30. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for.
Now let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? And boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in those meetings. Yeah. But they like you. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Back to throw. Trader. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Trader. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through. But that seems a little devil-may-care there, doesn't it? They gave up 3 points, but how about them coming right back and putting themselves in a position to get points of their own?
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're...
And now off to the races down the right side. And he he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 49 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They are, however, facing a 4th. Here's the Panthers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 67 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. Schrader. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Schrader under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Space to maneuver at the 40. And down right around the 37. 34 yards there and a 1st down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, if you bring your tight end over there. Either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Looking to throw. Fields. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Open man is Taylor. He's got it. Hey, nothing to see here. Just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Muscles him off. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Looking to throw on second down. Trader over the middle. It's caught by Rodgers. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels. Got him
and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Throwing again. Trader, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's the Panthers punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before break. Fields buying time to his left. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. We've already punched 2 tickets to the championship round this weekend. We'll get back to you guys and punch a third in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC divisional round game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 67 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be out right at the 35. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Back to throw. Schrader. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Room past the 20. That good for 22 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
Yeah, it's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. To throw on second down. Trader over the middle, complete. It's Rodgers. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Powers through. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Looking to throw. Fields on the move to his left. Throw left side complete. It's Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Forced out to his left. Now he'll turn and throw. Oh, wide open, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 46 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found it downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the...
This is intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what are you doing when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 30. 10, and mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 70 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Back to throw. Trader. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. In for the score. And it's for pride now, but the Panthers do get a bit closer.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
It's like my old high school coach used to say, Charles. He said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Finding room inside the 40, and finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And this is caught at the 8. A very solid gain of 27. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On first down, Schrader. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.